Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to Intelligence League Racing here for round number 5 at Spa-Francorchamps, so the Belgian GP with the lads of Division 2, as I just get the track map and everything sorted. And looks like the first man out on track is this man in the Alfa Romeo Skeletor Star. Now, as everyone is going around on their outlaps, I'll just explain an issue that we had. Unfortunately, during the sign-in, wasn't able to sign in to the INL official YouTube channel, so we're streaming it over here and then it will be uploaded as a video on the INL channel later on. But enough of the technical issues, let's get into one of the best tracks on the F1 calendar. Spa-Francorchamps, an absolute thrilling track with such great corners like Eau Rouge, Radion, and this corner we're coming up to right now, Blanchimont, as well as the ever tricky Pouillon, as we got some heavy braking zones into La Source, and this one right here, the bus stop chicane, and at the end of the Kemmel Straight. So we're going to go on board with Skeletor Stars. He opens DRS wide open on the run down into turn 1. Braking at the 100-meter board, getting the car slowed down into second gear. Looking for a nice exit. He short shifts up into third to start the long run down to Eau Rouge. A little dip down the hill before climbing all the way up it. Very easy to invalidate your lap there as you go through Radion. And now with DRS wide open, he is going to be flying all the way down the Kemmel Straight, reaching speeds of 330 kilometers an hour as he looks for the smoothest run there for that tight and twisty sector. Now to a very tricky off-camber downhill corner, the right-hand hairpin. It can catch a lot of people out, as well as that little left-hand king. I believe that is the corner with no name. As we go through Pouillon, looking to take as much speed as possible. Keeps the speed up lovely. Braking at the 50-meter board now as he goes down into 5th gear. Carries the speed through the right-left as he comes now to the second sector split. Still keeping it all valid, and that is good so far, as now it is pedal to the floor. And it is flat out from here down to the bus stop chicane as he goes through Blanchimont 8th gear. No lifting off, of course, as now spotted braking into the bus stop at the 100-meter board. Final chicane, very easy to lose it on traction there, as he has managed to get the ball rolling with a 41.6 and just a 10th ahead of Minnow de Beaver in second place, as we have a few cars crossing line. Stumpy and J Luke in the low 42s, as Killer Brent also into the 42s. Kieran into the 43, so Kieran will be looking to improve on that time massively, as we're starting to get some times coming in. As we're on board with XL Hardy as he comes through the bus stop chicane. DRS wide open, and it is going to be a 42.5 for XL Hardy. So we'll take you through the championship standings as it is right now. Legend is the man who is currently leading the championship in the Red Bull. Here he is on screen right now. He is currently on 68 points. A full 27 points clear of his nearest contender, and that is Vittino in the Mercedes, and he is ahead of J Luke, only on highest position though. They are level on points, so the battle between Vittino and J Luke is one to keep our eyes on, because whoever finishes ahead here will take the lead in their little battle. As we stay on board with the Red Bull as he comes to the second sector split. Not purple in sector 2, so maybe this is a chance for the likes of Minnow de Beaver Stumpy, J. Luke, or Skeletor start. Maybe get a surprise result here. As we go back to the standings, in 5th place we have Callum, who I don't believe is here, as Legend pops up into 3rd with a 42.1. Nope, Callum is not here tonight, so he's going to be under pressure from the likes of Killer Brent and Minnow the Beaver. Killer Brent currently sat in 5th place, as Minnow the Beaver sat in 6th. Just have a look at their points, and they are separated by 2 points, and is very close actually between these 4 drivers, as we got Callum on 37 points, who is not here as previously mentioned, and then we got Killer Brent on 35. Minnow the Beaver joined on points on 33 points with TDB. So that is going to be a nice little battle to keep our eyes on, as we also got the other Alfa Romeo of the man on provisional pole right now. That is Skeletor Star in 8th place on 26 points. Then we have Educt in the Alpha Tauri. Podium out last time, so he has got a podium to his name, but he is currently sat on 21 points, a full 10 points clear of the man in 10th place, and that is Baraka Cap in the Ferrari. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys get on. Nuffle Bessie all the way down in 12th in the standings, but he's a very quick driver who has got a little bit unlucky at times, so we'll have to keep an eye on what is going on there. Storm has set his lap on the medium compound tyres and has been beaten by almost 2 seconds by Baraka Cap, so Storm really needs to pick up the pace if he wants to be challenging, as we just go on board with Paul Lachey, who does invalidate at the top of Radion. Meanwhile, we'll stay on board with Nuffle Bessie as he comes from the second sector split. Purple in sector 2, so this could be a very good time from the Renault. His position in the championship does not reflect his pace. I do believe he is one of the faster drivers here, so we will see just how far up he can get. Same goes for XL Hardy for that matter as well. I don't believe that the position that these two are in the championship truly reflects their pace, as Nuffle Bessie pops up into 3rd with a 41.9. Good lap there from Nuffle Bessie. We are seeing a lot of invalid laps out there. Stumpy has just started his lap, and we got Minnow the Beaver at the end of the Kemmel Straight. He is 700, almost 800 of a second up on his sector 1 time. Now let's see if he can carry this speed through for the rest of the lap. Down into 3rd gear, tried to get the car rotated there around that sharp off-cambered downhill right hand airpin. Let's go through Pouillon now, 7th gear, try to carry as much speed as possible, going up into 8th mid corner. Try and get that extra speed down into 4th there. Very interesting call as he uses all of the curb possible on the exit of that corner there, as a little bit of a slide there on the exit, but he is still up by 0.3 of a second. However, that little slide will be costing him time as he goes down towards the bus stop chicane, and we will see how good this time is. Currently it is on course to beat the new time to beat, with DRS wide open now. To the line he'll come, and it's a 41.4 from Minnow the Beaver, and that is a fantastic lap there from the McLaren. We're going to go on board with J. Luke, as well as he is in the heart of Sector 2. Let's see if his Sector 2 time is going to be able to match up. We're looking for the 13s. And he is 3 temps up, so this is definitely going to be able to knock him ahead of Nuffle Bessie, as well as XL Hardy, who's also going into the 41s here with a 41.9. I believe we just had Julian there. Look at that. Identical lap time to XL Hardy there. LR Julian and XL Hardy absolutely separated by nothing, as we just saw J. Luke there popping up into 3rd place, showing his pace, as Baraka Cap pops it ahead of J. Luke there into 3rd place. So now we're starting to get these times tumbling down. As I'm just looking to see who will be the next person to cross the line. I believe it is going to be the Alpha Tauri, but he has abandoned that lap, and that is Stumpy out of the qualifying session. He's retired in the pit lane. As on board with Mia Kieran in that Williams. Doesn't look incredibly comfortable as he just gets on the curb there, and that's him into the wall, and his wheel has popped off. That is Mia Kieran out of this qualifying session, as we got TTG Storm, who is on a flying lap, half a second up. That's not going to be enough to move him up any positions whatsoever. He really needs to either think about coming back into the pits and aborting this lap, or hoping that he can maybe, just maybe, jump up a few positions and get himself further up. As yeah, he's going to abort the lap, into the pits he'll go. Smart call there from Storm. As Legend, I believe he invalidated his lap, so our championship leader currently down in 9th place. As we got Vittino, who has just completely missed Radion there. As we have a little bit of contact going on there with a couple of guys into the pit lane. No penalties coming up though. So we got Storm saying nice being in the wrong division. To be honest, Storm, you do have the pace, as we got Skeletor Star quite happy with his qualifying performance so far, and I cannot blame you, mate. That is a fantastic lap time that you have done here. However, you are under pressure from the likes of Minnow the Beaver. And we could see some faster lap times coming in from the likes of Baraka Cap, J. Luke, Nuffle Bessie, Julian, and XL Hardy, as well as Vittino, who has currently invalidated this lap, as well as Legend, who I believe has yet to show us his true potential here. As XL Hardy is actually retired from the session, so Hardy is out of qualifying. And the thing is, Hardy, he may be able to just stay in the top 10, but he could be under pressure to keep inside that top 10. Could be, because Killer Brent, Legend Vittino, they could go faster. We haven't seen a lap from Sabino or Polish yet. So you never know. Hardy could be potentially getting himself knocked out of the top 10 here, as we're going to go on board with Minnow the Beaver as he comes up Eau Rouge and Radion. DRS wide open now on the McLaren as he goes down the Kemmel Straight, looking for his braking point in between the 50 and 100 meter board, but the 50 meter board is no longer there. He tries to take as much of that inside curve as possible to really open up the exit and carry the speed through as we come into that right hand hairpin. Very easy to just understeer wide out there, and the same in that corner as well. It's very easy to understeer as we go through Pouillon, flat out in 7th gear on the exit, just a tiny lift off as you go into Pouillon, but he is keeping with that 4th gear there. That's interesting. I usually prefer to keep it in 5th for that corner, but he is up by a 10th, and this could threaten Skeletor Star's lap time here, and Skeletor Star is the man ahead of Minnow de Beaver. He has to get out of the way, which he does. So Minnow de Beaver, is he going to put this on provisional pole right in front of Skeletor Star as he breaks now into the bus stop chicane, tries to look for the best exit possible, straighten up the car, get the traction down, and with DRS wide open, it is a 41.1 there from Minnow de Beaver, and now Skeletor Star knows he has to improve by a 10th and a half to make sure that he can get pole position here. Sabino is actually gearing himself up for his one and only flying lap. Polish not going to set a lap time, so that is going to be qualifying over for Polish, as Legend is also about to set a lap time, as we got Killer Brent who's up by 2/10. Now this is the thing that I was saying earlier. Hardy retiring from the session could put him under pressure to stay inside that top 10. As we go through Blanchimont, Killer Brent now to the bus stop chicane, takes it in 2nd gear, but keeps it in 2nd gear. A little bit of wheel spin, and I think that might have just cost him. Yes, it has, and there's no real improvement there. Skeletor Star has retired from the session. Minnow de Beaver retires from the session knowing that his nearest rival, so to speak, has crashed out, as we're on board with Julian now as he goes to the line. It is an improvement. It gets him up into 4th. A nice 4/10 improvement as we got Baraka Cap to the line now. DRS wide open. A slight improvement, but no positions changed. So I believe the next person to cross the line is going to be Slabino. So we're going to stay on board with the Racing Point. And behind them you have Vitino as well as Legend. However, Hardy is safe inside that top 10, as Legend's actually retired from the session. So Legend will not be improving. But what can Sabino do? To the line now, DRS wide open. He gets himself up into 12th. Vitino to the line, and he jumps himself up into 6th place. A good lap there from Vitino. So Minnow de Beaver is the man on pole position. As we got Skeletor Star, who did do a fantastic job in qualifying. He pushed Minnow de Beaver all the way, and he will be starting on the front row with J. Luke and the other McLaren of LR Julian on the 2nd row. So could be a good day for the McLaren boys. As we are just waiting for Polish to retire in the pit lane. And that will bring an end to qualifying here. So Minnow the Beaver, the man on pole position with a 41.1. Skeletor will start alongside just over a tenth off Minnow the Beaver's time. Then we got J. Luke and Julian locking out that second row. Baraka Cap and Vitino on that third row. Nuffle Bessie and XL Hardy on the fourth row. Legend and Stumpy will be on that fifth row, rounding out the top 10. Then outside the top 10 with three choice of tyre compound, we have Killer Brent, Sabino, Jerome, Kieran, Storm and Polish. So that is going to be our grid going in to round 5. As it is looking incredibly overcast out there, potentially could see a few droplets of rain. Now that is always an exciting prospect. Spa known for its changeable conditions, so this could be very tasty indeed as we go around this 7-kilometer circuit. Believe it or not, the first Grand Prix of Spa-Francorchamps was held back in 1950, so 70 years since Spa debuted on the F1 scene. As we're going to have a little look at the tyre compounds chosen by everyone outside the top 10. And we'll have a little peek. So Killer Brent, Jerron, Kieran and Storm opting for the medium compound tyres. And then we got Sabino and Polish on the soft compound. Now, it is going to be a simple one stop. Perhaps, maybe, if it stays dry, it should be a relatively easy soft medium or medium soft. Should see pit stops coming in around lap 8 for the soft tyres and lap 12 to 14 on the medium compound tyres. But with 19 corners, multiple heavy braking zones that promote overtaking, long straights to get into the slipstream, this is going to be a absolute overtake fest as these guys just get their tyres warmed up. And there you see it, soft to medium pitting around lap 8 or 9, and you got the soft to hard strategy, which it can be a strategy, but not the strategy that I would potentially go with. Should be fun with rain coming. Oh, okay, the rain is scheduled. As we've just been informed by Storm in the chat, the rain is in the air. And this is just going to get that little bit spicier. Who will have the right strategy? As we got Minnow the Beaver now coming up to take his grid position on pole position. As Vitino is really back in the pack there behind Nuffle Bessie and Baraka Cap. So Vitino opting to just back everyone up a little bit, cool their tyres down. As we wait for everyone to get into their positions to go to these 5 red lights. That is a horrible camera angle. There we go, that's better. 4, 5 red lights. And lights are out and we are underway for round number 5 here in Division 2, as we got J. Luke there, 3 wide with Skeletor Star and Minnow the Beaver. J. Luke trying to get the move done on Skeletor Star. They're side by side, little bit of contact, wheel banging going on behind, But the Alfa Romeo and Williams there, they have to go single file through Rouge and Radion. What's going on behind? As everyone appears to be going pretty clean. But back up towards the front. It's almost 3 wide there. As J-Luke tries to hang it around the outside of Mino de Viva. Side by side racing between the two of them. And he almost goes straight into the back. Vittino and Sabino. Vittino's had a horrible start. He's all the way down in 11th place. But still, we have the Williams trying to get past the McLaren. And that is holding up. And here comes the other McLaren of Julian trying to look for the move. As we got Hardy and Barakacab. Barakacab around. And I think Hardy was in the wall. So Hardy is out of this race. Back up towards the front though. Killer Brent getting past Vittino. So Killer Brent, the man on the mission right now with the medium compound tyres. As it looks like Mino de Viva starting to just maybe pull out that little bit of a gap. But around here the straights are very long and it just promotes overtaking as you got Julian trying to look around the outside of Skeletor Star to try and get that final spot on the podium. But right now it remains as it is. Skeletor Star in third, Julian in fourth. But I have a feeling that with DRS enabled, this is going to be a very tough area for Mino de Viva to defend against J-Luke, as we are going to stay on board. ERS is wide open as we got blue flags for some reason. No lap cars around here yet, so the game is just having a bit of a glitch out. As you can see, the timing screens have gone just a little bit wayward as J-Luke picks up the inaugural 3-second time penalty. As you got Sabino now looking at the back of Nuffle Bessie for 5th place as Killer Brent picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that is not going to help him in the long run. Such a shame with what happened to XL Hardy earlier, as we got Paulish looking down the inside of Kieran, and down the inside he'll go, and he gets the move done into turns 12 and 13 as we got Stumpy picking up a 3-second time penalty. So the 3-second time penalty are starting to come into effect now. XL Hardy has left the session, clearly not happy. But up towards the front, actually, we got Vittino getting past Killer Brent there. Is Brent going to try back down the inside? He sticks his nose almost in it. Kind of a half-hearted attempt to get the move done, but stays as it is right now with Killer Brent right behind Vittino. However, with DRS, he is going to be able to come back at him as we go up to the top of the hill, down the Camel Straight. Let's see, as we also got Legend on the back of Sabino, but Sabino is going to have DRS to defend against Legend. Let's see, as Vittino has actually managed to just get away from Killer Brent slightly. So it stays as it is. Oh my god, it's Nuffle Bessie! Nuffle Bessie in the wall! Nuffle Bessie in the wall on the exit of turn 6, and that is heartbreaking for the Renault driver. Very easy to lose the car there, mind, with getting on those curbs. So I can only assume that that is what has happened with Nuffle Bessie, but with Ray, oh my god, as we got Sabino, he's lost there, Pouillon. Oh my god, Sabino going sideways like it is dirt rally out there. And Vittino's off on the exit of Pouillon. So we are starting to see some mistakes coming in. Is the rain coming down perhaps? Maybe that is the reason. No, it is still dry out there for the time being, but these guys, I'm not sure what is going on, but they are struggling. As we got Stumpy now all over the back of Giron. Is he going to have a little peek down the inside into the bus stop chicane? Yes, he is. He's going to have a little peek as Jerome locks up there in the bus stop, as Stumpy is just going to gear himself up, but as Jerome actually loses the back end slightly, but able to stay ahead as Stumpy now down the inside into turn 1 La Source, and that is job done there for Stumpy, as he will hope we can use some of his ERS to get away from the Haas, just to defend with that DRS down this main straight. So it looks like that is exactly what is going to happen. At the moment we do have a bit of a train going on from P6 with Killer Brent all the way down to P11 Mia Kieran. Meanwhile, towards the front we do have a bit of a 3-man train going on, but it looks like Mino Daviva is just about starting to gap J Luke, so J Luke will now be under pressure from Skeletor Star, as we got Ella Julian, who has just dropped off a little bit. Does he have any wing damage? Perhaps. No, he doesn't. So no wing damage for Julian. However, he is pretty safe from the guys behind, as we had yellow flags out, and I believe that was for Polish, who just got overtaken by Mir Kiran. So back to this battle. So I believe Stumpy is the closest man to making an overtake work. Very smart from Stumpy. Stick behind, get the DRS, and try maybe at the end of the Kemmel Straight. All he needs is a good exit here, and he has got it. So now he'll have maximum slipstream as well as DRS to overtake, as I see that gap between Skeletor Star and J Luke getting closer, but not close enough, as here goes Stumpy now to the outside. Stumpy, Killer Brent gonna try and hold it down the inside, which will turn to the outside and back to the inside. Little bit of contact between them. That's gonna open things up for Jerome to maybe have a little peek. As Skeletor Star picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, we got Kieran and Storm side by side in the corner with no name, as they go down now to Puyon, and it is going to have to be single file here. Meanwhile, Nuffle, Bessie and Sabino on a bit of a recovery drive, as well as Baraka Cap and Vitino. XL Hardy, our only retiree at the moment. I'm not sure what happened between him and Baraka Cap, but I'm sure we'll find out at a later stage. As it looks like the rain is coming down. Yes, the rain is here on lap 6. We have the rain coming down. Now the question is, how quickly will this track get damp? Now these guys are going to have to be so careful on the curbs. So careful indeed, as the rain is now here. You can see the droplets, they are falling, but DRS is still activated, saying that it is still dry enough for the dry compound tyres. If I was Skeletor Star or J Luke, I would have my tyre temperature graphics open right now, just to see when these tyres start to get so cold that they cannot heat back up, as Jerome gets past Killer Brent there. So Jerome now up into P7. Good job there from the man in the Haas. As Sabino's out. Sabino is out. I believe that's the same place where Nuffle Bessie lost it earlier on the exit of turn 6. So I'm guessing he just got on that curb, which can be a bit of a nuisance. But back to this fight The question is, when is the intermediate switch going to happen? And for Julian, actually, this is going to be crucial, as well as, well, to be honest, as well as Killer Brent and Nuffle Bessie and Jerome and Polish. These guys are incredibly close together on track and potential there to, oh, as we got a VSC out now, because Vittino has crashed out. And I'm looking on the minimap, and that is a very strange place to see someone crash out. But a VSC is out, and we have 3 drivers into the pit lane, 4 into the pits now. Intermediates for Julian, intermediates for Legend. Killer Brent should most likely be on the inters, as well as Polish. So we're going to have to see what these guys have in terms of race pace on these inters. To me, it looks just a little bit too soon, so we have to keep an eye on their progress. As Polish gets a drive-through penalty for speeding in the VSC, as we just go on board with Jerome, and Jerome has lost it. Jerome has lost it on the exit of turn 7 into the wall, front wing damage. The conditions really are starting to turn a little bit. But looking at the time delta between Nuffle Bessie and Julian, it is not intermediate conditions yet. The dry tyres are still the better tyres, as we got J. Luke and Minnow de Beaver side by side as they go into the final sector. And J. Luke gets that move done, but Minnow de Beaver with a lot of VRS to play with. And when I say a lot of VRS, it is a 70% advantage, almost an 80% advantage now. So interesting, as Julian picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. The switch to the intermediates has not worked, as we have the Red Bull off, and that is Legend in the wall at Blanchimont. He's lost it on the exit, into the wall he'll go, and he's gonna have to pit. He will be pitting along with Jerome, but as I said, it is too early for the intermediates. We've got Minnow de Beaver and J. Luke side by side. Oh, a bit of contact there between the two of them, and J. Luke able to keep a hold of first place for the time being, but with the rain coming down, it is all about the right lap. As you have Legend, Jerome and Polish into the pits, and Legend opting for the medium compound tyres. So he has recognised that the Inters, it is too soon, and he is hoping that he can get past Jerome ASAP. Maybe try to close up to Baraka Cap, as Jerome has actually crashed out at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion, and that's a full course safety car. Oh my god, it has absolutely exploded the track. It's just not working for the intermediates at the moment. However, with the safety car out, it could possibly get there. Will we see our leaders coming into the pit lane? As we got J. Luke in, Minnow de Beaver in, Skeletor Star in. As we should see everyone piling into the pits now. Let's see how many positions Julian can jump up here. He was in 4th place before he went into the pits. And he's going to come out in 4th place, but the guys ahead opting for the medium compound tyre. Storm coming out on hards, Kieran coming out on hards. This is incredibly interesting. Strategy is all up in the air right now. Maybe J-Luke, Minnow the Beaver, Skeletal Star, maybe they know something that we don't. Is the rain going to ease off? Only time will tell us. We got Baraka Cap into the pits. And he's opted for a fresh set of mediums. I believe Polish will be making that same choice. So we have fresh inters, fresh hards, fresh mediums. The rain is coming down, but is it going to get heavy enough for those intermediates to work? Is Julian going to pull off the absolute best strategy of his life? Or is he going to be made a fool of by his teammates Skeletal Star, Minnow the Beaver, J-Luke, and by Storm and Kieran behind? Skeletor's in the wall. Skeletor Star losing it in Puyon under the safety car, and that is him off the podium position and all the way down in 9th place. He does have a huge gap to Legend, so he can pit and come back out ahead of the Red Bull, but that is a massive blow there for the Alfa Romeo. The real question is going to be now, does he... Oh no, as Skeletor Star gets a drive-through penalty for falling too far back. Oh, it's gone from bad to worse for the Alfa Romeo man. So right now in the chat, I want to know everyone's predictions. Are we going to see the intermediates come through? Will the dry tyres be the way to go? A Skeletal Star really struggling there, but he has to get into the pits to change that front wing. You can see how much he is struggling. As Storm chucks on a set of intermediate tyres, so it is looking like it is getting worse out there. It is getting worse out there. So Minnow the Beaver, J-Luke and Kieran, as well as Legend, will have to come into the pits and chuck on the inters. From the looks of things, it is way too damp out there for dry compound tyres. Skeletor Star unfortunately does come out behind Legend. So my prediction of him staying ahead is going to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the safety car will be in this lap. So on lap 10 of 22, the safety car is out, should be in this lap. The intermediates look like they would be the better tyre in these conditions, and I fully expect all dry compound runners to be pitting at the end of this lap. And Skeletor Star may be able to jump on more because he only has a drive-through penalty. So this is massive for Skeletor Star. If he comes into the pits with everyone else, as we go back green racing again, he may be able to get the jump on 4 of these drivers ahead of him. He will drop the position to Baraka Cap and Polish. But it looks like the safety car is going to stay out for another lap, so saving grace actually for Minnow the Beaver, J. Luke, Kieran, as well as Legend as well. They'll be able to pit under the safety car. They'll definitely drop down the field, but they won't lose an entire pit stop because of it. And they're actually going to stay out. So Kieran is into the pits. Legend is going to stay out as well. So very interesting call here. And you can see just how much Legend is really struggling. I think that was a mistake from J. Luke and Minnow the Beaver. And Legend, Kieran, he will drop down the field, but he'll now be on the right compounder tyre for these conditions. But the safety car should be in this lap. So we got a Storm in the chat saying it's going to be back to dry at the end. So interesting, we still have some elements of strategy in play here. As the safety car is in this lap, it is going to be intermediate. That will be heavily favourable at the moment. Now Minnow the Beaver needs to just jump out of the way of his teammate, I'd say, as it is supposed to be going dry at the end of this race, so there is still some strategy elements in play. Skeletor Star will need to pit for that drive-through penalty, as we are back racing once again, as we got Julian who has to let his teammate back through, and this is absolutely horrible for these two. And we are racing once again, and here goes Stumpy actually overtaking both, and Nuffle Bessie gets past as well. 3 wide into turn 1 between the Ferrari, McLaren and Renault, and look at Minnow the Beaver, he is absolutely hemorrhaging places as we got Nuffle Bessie and Julian side by side there. J. Luke under some serious pressure, he is on the dry compound tyres in intermediate conditions, as it is 3 wide, but the Renault, Williams and Ferrari, as you can see the McLaren of Julian trying to get his nose in there. Oh my god, as J. Luke is absolutely gone and Julian is taken to the exit. Oh my, Julian's around. Julian is facing the wrong way on the safety car restart. Unbelievable, but the reset on track for Julian. So J. Luke spinning it as we got Minnow the Beaver being overtaken by Kieran. It was a massive mistake as Julian picks up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting and has retired from this race. Unbelievable. It has all kicked off here on the safety car restart, and we immediately have a VSC as Skeletor Star, who didn't make his drive-through, didn't go in for his drive-through penalty on the restart. He will need to serve it, I believe, this lap. As you can see, he's just getting a little bit wayward there on the exit of turn 14. As Julian has left the session. Julian, who was looking in prime position to take the lead of this race, held up behind his teammate on the restart, as you got Polish getting a drive-through penalty as well there for speeding under VSC. Mino de Viva really is going to be struggling, as Polish has been disqualified for ignoring his drive-through penalty. And Legends retired from the session. Legend out of the session, as we got Kieran going a little bit opposite lock up the top of Rouge and Radion. Storm looking to get the move done on Killer Brent for the final spot on the podium. Around the outside will go the Mercedes, but a little bit of contact and a Storm into the wall. Fortunately for the Mercedes though, no front wing damage, and Skeletor Star back up into the podium positions. However, he does have a drive-through penalty that he does need to serve. He doesn't want to end up like Polish, getting disqualified. It has all kicked off since the safety car restart. Mino de Viva and J-Luke making a horrible strategy call, staying out on the mediums when it was definitely the intermediate conditions. As you can see, the opposite lock there on the McLaren, and you can see how much they are struggling in these conditions. However, the rain is slowing down, but the intermediates are still the faster tyres. We go on board with Storm, and we just see Kieran getting a bit loose on the exit of turn 15, as you got Baraka Cap all over the back of Killer Brent, trying to look for the move. Skeletor to Star, will he be serving his drive-through penalty this lap? Surely he has to. Yes, he's in. So Skeletor Star does not make the same mistake that Polish did. He does not get himself disqualified from the session. And good news for Skeletor Star is that he will come out ahead of Mino de Viva and J. Luke. So on board with Baraka Cap underneath that rear wing of the Renault, who covers the inside, so that will force the Ferrari to go around the outside, as right now it is a battle between Ferrari and Renault, as we got Kieran just lurking around behind Killer Brent, maybe eyeing up a potential move as he just tucks in behind. The Storm almost goes straight into the back of him. Still getting a bit of spray off these tyres, and I'm keeping an eye on that gap between Skeletor Star and Mino de Viva. As soon as it starts coming down, that's when we know it has switched back in favour of the medium compound tyre. As this is the closest battle that we have on track between Killer Brent, Kieran and Storm. The battle for 4th place, as DRS has been enabled. So now we should start to see those medium tyres start to come back into play. But it looks like they're still losing a bit of time as we go on board with Storm, and Storm's into the wall, losing it on the exit of Blanchimont. And Nufflebessie into the pits, Stumpy into the pits. Baraka Cap's going to get held by his teammate in the pits. So is Killer Brent. So this could be good for Kieran, because he could come out in 3rd place here. As soft tyres for Nufflebessie and Stumpy. And J-Luke's retired from the session at VSC. J-Luke is out of this session. the man who has been leading this race, is out of the session as Minnow the Beaver. He comes out in 5th place. However, he is on 5-lap old mediums against everyone on very fresh soft tyres. It is going to be a very tall order, and they're not too far behind him, as Kieran, as stated, with the Ferrari and Renault being held behind their teammates, as Baraka Cap gets a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So now Kieran in prime position to get this podium here today. This is fantastic. Baraka Cap gets a drive-through penalty. Minnow the Beaver looking for the comeback drive of his life, but he's going to be under some serious pressure from Storm, Killer Brent and Skeletal Star. And you got Kieran in prime position to take, I believe, his first podium of the season. As Nuffle Bessie, all he has to do now is just try and control that gap between him and Stumpy. We're going to go on board with Storm, as he is going to be closing in on Minnow the Beaver for 5th place, but he runs completely off track there. But now with DRS, he will definitely close up big time. As you see the podium battle just going on up ahead with Baraka Cap and Kieran. However, Baraka Cap will be making that pit stop for his drive-through penalty. As Storm picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, as Baraka Cap doesn't look for the move, but Storm is going to try around the outside of Minnow the Beaver. As he gets on the curb there, and that is not what you like to see. As it looks like Killer Brent may have been caught out slightly by that, because Skeletal Star now all over the back of Killer Brent, but Storm unable to get the job done with DRS on Minnow the Beaver. That McLaren needs to push with absolutely everything he has got. Baraka Cap is going to be no threat for Kieran, as he will be serving his drive-through penalty either this lap or at the end of the next lap. Nuffle Bessie and Stumpy holding ground with about 2 seconds between them. As Minnow the Beaver is currently still in 5th place, will be a net 4th place after Baraka Cap comes in for his drive-through penalty. But what he has now, he has 3 very angry, fresh, soft runners right behind him. All will have DRS. And now with DRS wide open, Storm flying down this main straight. Gonna try around the outside once again, a little bit more contact between them. But Minnow the Beaver holding his position, doing a fantastic job in defending, just placing his car in the right spots. And that could very well win him P4 in this race, as we got J Luke leaving the session, as Killer Brent picks up a 3-second time penalty. And especially if this keeps happening, if Killer Brent, Skeletal Star and Storm pick up any more penalties, Minnow the Beaver may just be able to hold on to what should be P4. Oh, Storm Storm has lost it. Storm has lost it and has dropped behind both Killer Brent and Skeletor Star. A little bit of breathing space now for the McLaren. As we have Skeletor Star now looking for a move around the outside of Blanchimont perhaps. No, he's going to be stuck up underneath that rear wing. Nuffle Bessie with the fastest lap of the race so far. And Baraka Cap now into the pits. And that should drop him all the way down into last. As we got Skeletor Star down the inside of Killer Brent. But they're still going to be side by side on the run up to Eau Rouge and Radion. Will anyone yield? Yes, Killer Brent will yield. But the run he gets at the top of Radion is fantastic. He is right underneath that rear wing of Skeletor Star. And there's absolutely nothing the Alfa Romeo can do about that. A Skeletor Star picks up a 3-second time penalty, and I think now Mino de Beaver is probably looking safe for this P4 as he picks up a 3-second time penalty as I say that, so maybe not as safe as you would think. Skeletor Star still all over the back of that Renault. Oh, and they made contact there on the exit of Pouillon, and that's Killer Brent into the wall and out of this race. A VSC and a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Killer Brent for Skeletor Star. And that, in my opinion, has definitely sealed it for Mino de Beaver, because I know Storm, I believe, has got 2 3-second time penalties. Baraka Cap is a few seconds behind these guys. Mino de Beaver, to my knowledge, only with 1 penalty to his name. But eyes on this man, Kieran. I haven't seen him pop up in the penalties. I'm not sure the penalty situation between the top 2 as well. Currently the gap is around about 3 seconds as they get underway once again. Green flag. The gap is 3 seconds between them. This is interesting as we approach a bit of a calmer stage of this race, where everyone is just that little bit spread out. But penalties will probably decide this one. Skeletor, he may end up under threat from Baraka Cap today for the amount of penalties. The gap is 3 seconds between Stumpy and Nuffle Bessie. Kieran is in a bit of a no man's land right now, as Mino de Beaver, he has a small gap to Skeletor Star behind, but the penalty situation is bigger than what Mino de Beaver would probably know, so he doesn't really have to fight with Skeletor Star if he closes up to him. Gap between the top 2, 2.7 seconds. One penalty between the top 2 could change everything. As we are on lap 20 of 22. 3 more laps to go in this race. Nuffle Bessie currently leading ahead of Stumpy by 2.5 seconds. Mir Kieran astonishingly in a very lofty heights of 3rd place. Mino de Beaver, who made a very bold strategy call and pitted for the medium compound tyres when it was intermediate conditions. He did lose the possibility of taking the win because of it. However, he is currently sitting in 4th place. Skeletal Star, who was running fine in the top 3, had a spin under the safety car at Pouillon, and that cost him massively. As also again a drive-through penalty, as Storm he's had a few incidents, but he's running decent in 6th place right now. And we have Baraka Cap, who recently just served a drive-through penalty. So with 2 laps to go, Nuffle Bessie, Stumpy in a bit of a league of their own, as Mino de Beaver sets a new fastest lap with a 44.2 on the medium compound tyres that are 11 laps old, as Baraka Cap, who had an opportunity actually to jump ahead of Skeletal Star on penalties and maybe ahead of Storm, because I don't know what the gap, I don't quite know what the penalty situation is between them, but he had the opportunity to jump ahead of Skeletal Star, and he's going to put on a fresh set of soft tyres to go for the fastest lap on the final lap of this race. And we have Stumpy now, who is closing in on Nuffle Bessie. I don't think it's going to be enough, but as I said earlier, an extra penalty for one of these two. Stumpy picks up a 3-second time penalty. As I just say that, Skeletal Star picks up a 3-second time pen. So Stumpy now absolutely pumping everything he can into this lap to close down the gap. He picks up a 3-second time penalty that most likely has cost him any chance of winning this race. The gap is 1.5 seconds. We come onto the final lap of this race. All eyes on Stumpy right now to see if he can, maybe give us a little bit of action as they go to the line. The gap is 1 second now. They're both absolutely spent on ERS. As Nuffle Bessie picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, this could be this is getting spicy, guys. This is getting spicy. Stumpy has been closing in. He's just picked up a 3-second time penalty, but Nuffle Bessie has also picked up a 3-second time penalty as they are on the final lap of this race. Can Nuffle Bessie hang on? Can Stumpy catch up? Can he get ahead? Maybe into the bus stop chicane. Time will tell, but that is a big gap to try and close up. Do they have enough penalties that would promote Kieran to a race win? Mino de Beaver is just calm in 4th place as we have Nuffle Bessie now coming into the bus stop chicane. Stumpy right behind them. This is where we find out. Nuffle Bessie crosses the line and Stumpy had an extra penalty. So Nuffle Bessie picks up the win here unless Kieran can jump ahead. But he doesn't. Mino de Beaver comes home in 4th place, and what a result there for Kieran. Skeletal Star in 5th place, but surely he's going to drop behind TTG Storm as Baraka Cap, who has gone for the fastest lap of this race. Is he going to get? Only time will tell. He is out of ERS though. He has no more deployment left available to him as he comes through the final corner at the bus stop chicane. Tries to get the traction down and It is going to be the fastest lap for Baraka Cap. And he comes home in 7th place. We started with 16. We've lost so many people in this race. The game has given Mir Kiran the driver of the day, and honestly, I kind of have to agree with it. I don't think he picked up a penalty. But that man, Nuffle Bessie, on the top step of the podium, climbs his way up the leaderboard in the championship massively. The championship protagonists of Legend and J. Luke all crashing out of this race. And there we go, Nuffle Bessie, our race winner. Stumpy in second. Kieran, no penalties, 14th to 3rd. I will have to probably give him my driver of the day for that. What a drive there from the man in the Williams. Mino de Beaver does well to get himself back up into 4th. Storm will take 5th. Skeletal Star takes 6th. And Baraka Cap, going for that fastest lap, did give up the opportunity to gain a few extra points with Skeletal Star's penalties. And then, looking at our very long list of people who have retired from this race, we have Killer Brent in the Renault, J. Luke in the Williams, Legend in the Red Bull, LR Julian in the McLaren, Jerome in the Haas, Vitino in the Mercedes, Sabino in the Racing Point, XL Hardy in the Alpha Tauri, and unfortunately Polish getting himself disqualified after not serving his drive-through penalty. So that is going to be hot topics in the Discord chat later today. But I have been your commentator for this round. I've been Mike. Unfortunately, it was streamed on this channel, not on the INL channel, but we will be uploading this video to the INL channel, so you will be able to see it over there at a later point. But I want to thank everyone who has jumped in and shown support for their favourite drivers, and make sure you go on over and jump on over to the INL YouTube channel. I will leave a link in the description for that, and you know, just go and support the channel. But until next time, guys, I've been Mike, and I'll catch you in the next one.